Welcome back, tankers of Blitz Universe. We have another map guide for you. Today we're taking a look at Canal. Introduced in 2015, I'm going to show you how to work the factory on Canal. I will show you how to raise pressure by putting a big E100 on the cap area. There are a few very good sniping positions available on this map, so we will camp bush like a boss, and we will obviously go hey ho, hold down as well as needs to be done over here. First things first, I'm taking a look at the map and then the main areas of it, and this is an overview of Canal as it is in the game. There is rolling hills to the right, red colored over here, and there is a factory area plus a town in the middle which is green over here. We have a flanking high ground on the left, blue. Yellow is a lower terrain, and the white areas are the spawn areas, and they are pretty much covered from everywhere. And starting off with the PTA, I am in one of the default spotting positions on the map. There is another one on the opposite side. This is a very good position to spot tanks moving in. You don't want to be like this T-54 is doing over here. He is way too aggressive. He is pushed beyond half of the map, basically into our territory almost. And you can see he gets eaten alive almost. There's a grill, there's not comfort. It's me and the PTA. He will not survive much longer. And one more shot in for good measure. And this is really a rolling area. Any tank with good gun oppression like a T-30, ST-1, the British tanks Centurions, you can really work this area and just go hold down, peek over the ridge, take a big shot and roll back into cover. It's not just a matter of sitting here and then shooting tanks. You have to take a look around. You can see what I'm doing here. I'm rolling back, taking a look to the left. Is there anybody approaching there? No, there isn't. I'm taking a look at the minimap and I just know I'm safe here to pop over the ridge, take a shot at this E100, nearly finish him off, and yes, one more shot would finish him off. Opposite from the position we saw with the PTA is this one. I'm in a T-54E1, another tier 9 medium tank. And it would be tempting to go all the way up on top of that ridge, but that would expose me to this tank, the Panther 2, a lot more, to the Centurion, to a waffle tractor which is there, to a T-30. And I can safely, you can see what I'm doing here, I can safely move down, shoot a tank and then reload, and it basically creates a firing channel. We're gonna see that later when I'm driving another medium tank, I think, PTA probably. The way I'm driving up this ridge is a very easy one. Keeping those bushes slightly to the left, that's what I'm driving, the angle I'm driving on. You can see what I'm doing here. Again, taking a look to the left, where are my teammates, how are they positioned, and by looking at how they are positioned, I can predict pretty much if they will spot any red tanks left, right or center. I'm also spotting for the Welsh Kate Moss, Max 43 from Noob's Clan. He's in the Big Bad Balls Heek on the ridgeline behind me. I'm going to show you the ridgeline later in Camp Bush chapter. And I'm also signaling my team I'm reloading, guys. I have a burst damage, I have a low DPM, but if I signal what I'm doing, then it might be very much worthwhile. Taking your time here in this area is also advised, because this T-30 can take a big shot into me, but luckily I can track him in place. And you can see he was very aggressive as well, going into some of the open bits really in that rolling area. And that's not advisable to do, because tanks that slowly work their way up here and can go hold down, they can be a real pain in the ass to remove. And I'm going to show you just what happens if you take your time in the ST1, the tier 9 Russian hold down monster really. This M103 is in a tight spot, caught between a rock and a hard place, because he would want to push up on us, on me, on the E50, on the IS-8, but then again he can't, because he's low on health and he will get obliterated by our guns probably. Yet he can't move too far back, because he will be exposed to tanks that are near our spawn area. And yeah, this is what you can do over here. Just really take it easy, take your time. Only come out when you have a gun loaded, a shell ready to roll into the red team. That hill, it's not the only spotting position. If you are ballsy, if you read the lineup correctly, you can rush in over here. Normally I wouldn't go this aggressively in a PTA, but I've taken a look at the lineup. They only have this one leopard over here, and that's why I rolled in. And I'm still taking a look at what our 140 is doing. Oh, there's a waffle. We are not rushing in because the waffle is still there. I'm not spotting the leopard again, so there could probably be another tank. And I'm taking a look at the teammates. We have a green 54 who is camping one of the ridges in spawn, and there's the whole red team coming in, taking a quick shot on the leopard. Hello. And then moving off, turning the tank back towards our spawn, not running away but taking another position. I could get isolated there if I didn't move, if I wouldn't move. And by isolating, I'm going to show you what happens if you rush in over there. Because the leopard one, you can see he is going very aggressively. IS-8 same, and the IS-8 he was on far more health than 700 like he is now earlier. You can see it over there, 400 now, one shot in from me. Way too aggressive, even if there's a big juicy grill to take out. But this is not the way to play on any map, and especially on this area on Canal, because you will get hammered for it. Like I said, rolling up the hill again. Type 61, tier 9 Japanese medium, and if it gets a bit crowded over here, why stay? You can see there's an E50 bumping into me. We have another tank in E50 and a T54, object 140, and me. That's 5 mediums. No room to maneuver. Let's bail out. We have a grill platoon as well, so let's see if we can help them. And we are using this low area to relocate. Spot it, that's unfortunate, and we get hit. But we can put a shot in as well into the leopard. Turning here on the spot, letting the camo reset. And we're just gonna help the grill really. You can see the grill just fired. Taking a look at where he is aiming at. There is the leopard, there is an object 140, and it's going to be another object 140. And he pops over the ridge and he gets killed by the grill. And after having crossed the canal area, we are leaving the medium ground and going into the factory area. Pretty much close quarters battles. This is where wargaming have by default the heavy tanks. You should side scrape here, you should do all kinds of things a heavy can do well. That's what this area was designed for. But you can be here in medium tanks as well, as long as you know the lines of sight, and I hope I can show you a few of them in the video. Because yeah, it is it's something that you have to be aware of. From what angle can I be shot, can I shoot other tanks? Remember the grill in the earlier video, earlier bits. He was in a position where I couldn't shoot him from the STI. But it's going to pop up a young panther. There he is, and he's in pretty much the same position as that red grill was earlier. And well, this is something you can do with the tank. You can sit here with it in case you want, and we get shot once it's unfortunate. But we have taken out already one tank, and there goes the Yard Panther, and now we are going to push the bridge in a KV4 and with 80-15, and we're pretty safe in pushing, because they don't have tanks on the right side in the hills that can shoot our sides, and there were two heavies rolling on the left. And if you keep track of enemy positions from time to time by looking at the mini-map, by just knowing where they are, you can be more successful in games than if you don't. That's why I'm not rushing in on this I7. I don't know if he has fired or not. I don't want to get hit by him because I know I can one-shot him if possible. That's why I'm looking at him now. He is fired, moving in. I have a shell ready, turret already turned, waiting for him to turn. One into him, engine fire, thank you, thank you. That is very fortunate because that gives us a few more hit points done in terms of damage. And I'm now rolling back slightly. We got hit once, but we can kill the IS-7 as we go around the corner. And there we go. Repairing the track, which wasn't really necessary, popping adrenaline because that M103 is moving in and he's going to come around the corner anytime soon. But this is indeed close quarters battle. Move carefully, shoot him through the front plate, bump into him, making him into a one-shot. If we penetrate 714 is easily done for an FE. And we are lucky because he leaves 5 hit points on us. Thank you RNGs that we can finish off this M103. Back into the SD1 now. Crossing the other bridge from the south spawn, and I'm being aggressive here because you can see 2 tanks on the left. There is no one, I repeat, no one in the hills area. That one bounced off. I don't know why it happened, but it did. And we are side scraping it out over here with pretty much the front line. As you can see, reloading, shooting, missing because he went down. But this position is a good one as well if you can get a side scraping heavy in over here. And the Reds have tanks on the ridges in the rolling hills area. You can put shots into them all day long. It's hard to aim properly because of those bushes and trees over there, and it's a very, very small window to shoot. And especially if you side scrape well, you can do it pretty well in the nasty one. It bounced off, unfortunately, but we are just holding the line over here, and I'm waiting for the heavies and that one medium on my right side to move in. That object 704 just fired. Can put one shot in. E75 is moving in on the left, so we have to turn. Don't want to turn too much because I might pop my bum out to that E50 on my right side and D54. But we have to side scrape out to this E75. Can we shoot him again? Ooh, that's nice, that's nice. Track. That one goes onto his track as well, but we have help now. Object 140 over here. That 704 just fired. There he goes. And we can move in on him and leave the kill for the Object 140, hopefully. Somehow he decides to bounce. So we have to do the work ourselves, and he gets killed by the 704. And we also get shot now by the waffle tractor, so you can see how easy it is to be in this area and roll and just roll a bit too quick, because both the factory area and the town area, they are pretty much on the same ground level as the whole surrounding area, and you have a high hill U-shaped road to your right side from the south spawn, and there is of course the rolling hills from the north spawn, and of course the rolling hills to your left from the north spawn, and all of them can have eyes on you, they can have shots on you. I've shown this before in the Talk Through Tactics Object 140 video, where I just sat in one of those depressions on the rolling hills area and just put shot after shot after shot in. And you can see it here over as well. I'm turning around the corner, trying to get a shot in on any tank. I get spotted because I'm not careful enough, and I lose half my health. Yet this is a strong position, because we have put a big shot into an E75 already, and I'm side scraping it out here, and we are putting another big shot into this FE215B. But you have to be careful here, you have to move cautiously. This IS-8 video, again, I'm too aggressive, I think, because I will get hit now. Yeah, there it is. We are putting a shot into this IS-8, but as he pops up later on the radar, you will see we only did some track damage. But as you can see, it is it's possible to control the approaches towards Cap A on the supremacy matches and onto that high grounds. And this works from both sides. KP4 bit also had me shooting a tank that went from the northern spawn to the Cap area. And this is something you could do in a heavy. This is something you could do in a tank destroyer, and if you're a bit ballsy, or if your team has a lot of heavies and not too many mediums, and the Reds have a lot of mediums, then it can be also very good to do this in a medium. Really, support the team, be where most of the guns are, and don't go one-on-one if needed, and especially do not go alone. That said, moving onwards and upwards, we are going to take a look at a Type 61 match, and the reason I'm doing this is to show you that it is pretty much possible to be in the factory area, not just in a heavy, but also in a lightly armored medium. There is a waffle on top of another sniper position, putting a shot into him, and I think he gets shot by a big gun as well. Yeah, there it is. I'm not paying attention enough to that 54. I'm too late to get away. That's unfortunate. But I know there's a waffle over there, so let's leave Cap C. He is a one-shot and he should probably pop up over here. Yep. Hello. Goodbye. Two caps in our possession, and I'm driving backwards, as you can see, and getting a shot into the 54. Nope, we didn't bounce on the pipes over there. And this is really simple. I'm just parking the tank between two of the factory buildings. That 54, he hasn't got eyes on me. He can't get his eyes on me because he's harassed by an IS-8 in front. And I know there are no tanks between Cap A and my position. And I know that because there were tanks driving towards that T-54, and by simple deduction and some mathematics, I could reasonably assume, that's a stupid word, assume that there were no tanks over there. I'm spotted now, I'm turning again and using the factory buildings for cover. And of course this is made easy by the fact that we are already 2 tanks ahead. And it's easier to be sneaky like this in a lightly armored medium if you are tanks ahead, because that means less guns can shoot at you. But all in all, this is a pretty nifty game, and apart from that shot where we were uncareful and got shot by the 54, we have not lost any health, and that's a good thing in my opinion, because there were some pretty big guns on the red team, and we can therefore drive in on this PATTON and just shoot him. And that leads us nicely onto the chapter you have all probably been waiting for, Camp Bruges, knowing when to stay, when to roll. And like I said, I'm going to show you a few of the really well-known sniping positions in Blitz. This is one of them, the corner in Canal. You can drive your tank up over here, turn your turret, be it in a grill, FE, whatever tank. Even if you don't have a turret, you can sit here and you can snipe away across the map if needed. But it's really easy here to lose targets really. And remember how I said taking a look at the minimap. If you take a look at the minimap now, you can see all of my team are across. Pretty much all of the Reds will probably be there as well, because I haven't seen them over here yet, and I had binocs and camouflage on. So we are rolling, and I can put shots in across on the KV2 over here, on the VK, etc, etc. And we are shooting the KV2, and you can see it's not necessary to sit on top of a hill or behind a bush really and just snipe away. But sniping also involves knowing when to roll. If you lose targets, or if you fear you will lose targets, and Reds will have a numerical superiority in terms of guns on your team, it is time to move. And you can see we are losing tanks. We are 2 tanks down. we will win the game in that HELLCAT, but that was because of the fact that I decided to move early on. And it's something that you have to do. Camping is bad. Camping is just sitting in a spot and sniping. And as long as you can put shots into the red team, you may think you are doing a good job. But if you lose targets quickly, then it really is time to move on. Another fairly well-known sniper spot, and you can see, oh, look at this, look at the view. I'll drop my anchor here, I'll just sit here and camp grass, really, there's not bush. That leopard here is in another spawn sniping spot, and we kill him. Enemy destroyed, thank you. And this is something you can do from this spawn. You have an overview of the map and you can see it. I mentioned it when I was in the ISA and the FV on the lower grounds on the town area. And this is a lucky shot going through the girders on the Death Toaster. But you have an overview of that flat ground, and if you have tanks over here, it is easy to snipe away. This works, in my opinion, both ways. If you know there is a tank on one of these sniping spots, be aggressive in a medium spot for your tank destroyers, especially if they can put fire in like this, like I'm doing over here. We will lose a tank because that leopard will go for that A20. But he is losing a lot of health too in doing so. I'm going to be slightly greedy on this Crusader, wait for him to be a one-shot and then shoot him. Ninja, ninja, steal the kills. But you can see this is tempting. It's tempting to just sit here and wait, but there was a cap moving, so we decided to go off and we will win the game. From the south spawn there is another sniping ridge available, which takes a bit more time to get up onto because you really want to be all the way over here because there is a bush which gives you a bit more in terms of camouflage. Leopard is spotting for us. We have a scatter team, as you can see. There is a tank which I can't shoot because he's behind a building. They are raising the cap already and we only have shots on this one over here on the leopard. So we will shoot the leopard. Then notice there is a Panzer over there as well, a red tank, a 3/4. So time to roll off and help our Chinook. More tank destroyers, Blaze going towards the Cap A on Supremacy. And this is something you can do in quick tanks really. Slow tanks not so much because of the fact that there are side shots available on you. But if you have quick tanks you can go into this area, especially on Supremacy. This is a cap that is hard to get, but we were earlier there. We caught a T-29 in the open, waited for him to engage. MT-25 I think was with us. Gonna see that in a second. Waiting for him to engage an MT-25 and then roll in. Yep, there it is. And we've captured C. We are one tank ahead, so this is really a matter of just slowly driving around, sitting here in Cap A. T-29 doesn't really know what to do because an SU-100 as well behind us. And so what I would like to show you in this part of the video is the fact that you can use quick tanks to get to this corner and to Cap A on a Supremacy match. But also that you have a few very good lines of sight from the left and the right side into this area. And that SU-100 had it covered, made a T-29 back away. But also towards the other spawn, the north spawn, there are a few long lines of sight. We will engage and kill the Panther, who is behind a building at the moment. But we will shoot him. And this also goes to show that, like said earlier on that HELLCAT bit, you don't need to sit on top of a ridge just to shoot. Tanks with a bit of gun depression will be useful over here because of nooks, crannies, bumps and ridges. And that said, let's take a look at the cap area. Because it might not be advisable to do this in tier 10 matches usually. But if you have a big well-armored heavy like a Morse or an E100, it can be useful to go into the cap area and really spook the rest by just raising the pressure and making them come over here, because they have to come. They have to come eventually. Reds have 4 mediums. We have 3 mediums. And you can see it 17, 18, 19, and they are already slowly starting to panic. There is a tank in top of on the top left in the sniping spot. 27, 28, 29 and counting. T62. That's unfortunate. If I had waited a bit, I would have been able to shoot him. But we are raising pressure really hard. 43, 44, and they will eventually come. There is a call from help from the Leopard. There is an E100 moving in on us. He gets shot once, and I'm going to do a little dance around the hill. And because of the fact that I was in here and that E100 decided to come at me, should have shot AP or HE, maybe even on the back of him. He's down to 790. I'm still loaded with heat. I didn't really realize that, which is stupid because I screw up a kill shot in a second. Take a look at this. That gets eaten by the tracks. Luckily he shoots our behind as well. So in that regard, nothing lost. No hit points done, and it's a bit unfortunate that I went out of the cap area because we have to build pressure again. But the Reds are panicking indeed. You can see it over here. They are rolling in again. Hello, there's another E100. Yep, we didn't penetrate armor, obviously, because now I shot AP. We are 2 tanks down, and we will win the game because of reasons, and they came rushing in one by one. And there's a Leopard on the left. Load HE, shoot him once, and there we go. Low roll, that's unfortunate. But our 57 heavy is moving in. Yeah, there he is. And again, raising pressure, slowly building. It's like a pressure cooker, this. And I'm going to show you what happens if they really raise the pressure by this Object 140 game. You can see it already. Cap area already up to 40, and I'm slowly working my way through this IS-4. We are 3 tanks ahead, so in that regard there's not much of a problem. But what I failed to realize is the fact that suddenly the cap went up quicker than before, and it wasn't just one tank in there, there were 2 of them, because it's 63, 64, 65, etc, etc. And I realized I really have to make a dash for it, and I break my tracks. Stupid. We repair, and it's 78, 79 into the water, which slows me down a bit, and there are 3 tanks there, and there is a IS-7 who is probably on the cap, and we get tracked again. And then at 62 wants to shoot me, and he does, and he bumps into me, trying to get me, prevent me from resetting the cap. But we are in, and I think it's the Waffle Tractor probably who shoots an IS-7, but we reset the cap. But this goes to show that if you really put the pressure on, people can do really strange things. The cap area isn't useful only for raising pressure. You can also use it to flank quickly. Like said, take a look at the layout, the lineups of the team. We have 2 heavies, 2 mediums, 2 tank destroyers and a light, and the rest have 4 mediums, 2 tank destroyers and a light, which means that we would probably get obliterated, really torn apart left, right and dead center if we had gone into the rolling hills mediums area. That's why I rolled quick ahead of the team. We managed to kill that Panther without any loss of health from us. We're ignoring the tank in our spawn. We want to go into the red spawn hopefully and spot a few more tanks, but hey ho, who's there to my top right? Ooh, shit. A ballsy. I don't want to face a ballsy in the Type 60. Switch to HE, which he probably does as well. We can shoot him once for a whopping 92 hit points. That's unfortunate. We had already used our adrenaline, which is unfortunate, which is stupid. Come on, Carnarvon, help me, help me. Can I turn away? Can I shoot him again? Yes, we can. That's a bit of a high roll, but I'm a one-shot for him and we get killed. Stupid. But such is life. One more small snippet of gameplay before we have a full game to finish off this lengthy, rambling review of Canal the Map Guide. E50M swap to APCR, there we go, straight through the front plate. Sorry for gold spam, but I really wanted to make sure to get that kill. The reason I moved in down low because we had all the mediums in the corner and I was afraid we would get spotted by tanks and then flanked and then hammered by 1, 2, 3 red tank destroyers. That's why I'm sitting here. I was still getting used to the E4 and the lack of gun depression compared to the preceding preceding T30. This is unfortunate, only track damage on that E100, but we did manage to slow him down and keep him keep him over there really. Turning the tank on the spot. E4, I'm reloaded, shots available, no 54, no gun depression, still working on that, only -6 as opposed to, what is it, 9 or 10 on the T30. So we're driving back a bit further and turning on the spot and driving again and getting a bit of distance so we can hopefully get a shot in on this T30, which is there, and he is, and we lose another tank, which is unfortunate. And there's a T30. Hello T30. We can shoot you once and we roll down again, and well, this is how you can use that low ground as well. You can see what that E100 is doing. He's trying to push. That is a bad idea, which is made even worse by the fact that you get slightly stuck in there in that muddy area. The ground resistance of your tank is even higher when you are down there, and an E100 is a heavy tank with worse ground resistance. Any tank will get slowed down if you are in the low ground. Something you have to take into account, especially if driving an E100, Morse, KV4, you name them. Well, really the heavy tanks, they don't work very well in there. I'd suggest you try a training room if you want to find out what's really happening. But that said, onwards and upwards, a full game on Canal, M46 PATTON, Tier 9 American medium, and let's see what happens here at Cap D. And this game has a little bit of everything, a little bit of mediums area, a little bit of factory, a little bit of crossing low ground, a little bit of hull down, and this is one of my favorite spots really. I think maybe even in the game. This is such a good position, such a nice hull down spot. We have 2 bases, Reds have nearly 2 bases, they have captured A, but we can shoot the waffle, kill him. It's 1 tank up at the moment. And this isn't a really, well, in terms of gameplay, a really splendid game, but this is just being, yeah, I don't know, it's being savvy, it's being aware of what happens. It's just driving around and just taking your time. There's no need to rush in. I'm trying to shoot the Borsig. That one probably goes into a building, I don't know. Bit unfortunate. It's like I said, it's hard to see tanks really properly through all the bushes. So if you sit still and take your time in that middle area, side scrape it out, you can be a real pain in the ass of any tanks over there. Nice shot with a bit of enemy fuel tanks on fire for a Carnarvon. That IS-8, may I humbly suggest you take a look at how to use bridges, a Unicom's guide video. That one misses on the Carnarvon, and that's why you can also push across the bridge, especially the northern bridge easily. Southern bridge, that's it's open area. The northern bridge has some girders which protect it. So if there are tanks on the hills area, on the mediums area, on the rolling hills, they have a hard time hitting you. We take a lucky shot on that T69 over here. But that one doesn't go in either, and it's now a matter of just looking around. Borsig moving in towards our E75. That's not something I like to see, so can we shoot him? Yes, we can. Thank you very much. We are spotted rolling down again. E75 harassed by a tiger and a Carnarvon, so let's cross the bridge quickly and use mobility. I like said, this has a little bit of everything. We have 2 bases, the third one is already rolling in. Snapshot ninja, there we go on the Carnarvon. Sorry mate, that was really lucky. But like I said, rolling in, this one misses, switching to APCR, and we get hit, want to go down, we break our tracks, we repair our tracks, and it's just a matter of driving around. We're going to win the game. We have 3 bases running, get a lucky shot on this IS-8, and we're going to get a lucky shot on the M103, and we are going to get a lucky shot as well on the Tiger II. This one misses, but he gets turned into a one-shot for us. There we go. And we can just about pop adrenaline, and saved by the bell in the nick of time, we get a Pools medal by killing the Tiger II. They are knocked out. And that concludes the map guide for Canal, a guided tour really. I hope you can take something from this, be it on Canal, be it in overall gameplay. Up next, Vineyards. Got some footage on that one, and any requests for reviews or map guides can be made in the comments below. Thank you so much for all the support. We've had 2,600 subscribers and counting. And I'll leave you all with this Canal Map guide. Cheers lads, happy tanking.